Hello and welcome. So, you're thinking about a trip to Sweden. Amazing choice. But today, we're going to look beyond the beautiful scenery and dive into something really important, the official safety guide from EmergencyReady.eu. Now, if you haven't heard of it, EmergencyReady.eu is this fantastic project that pulls together all the critical on-the-ground safety info you need before you travel. Think of it as your super smart travel buddy. So, let's get into their guide and make sure your Swedish adventure is unforgettable for all the best reasons.
And this, right here, is what it's all about. It's not about being scared or expecting the worst. It's about being prepared, being smart. This quote just perfectly sets the tone for everything we're about to cover. It's all about giving you the confidence to travel freely.
So that's our mission today. We're taking all that great info from EmergencyReady.eu and turning it into a super simple, step-by-step plan for your trip. Whether you're hitting the city streets in Stockholm or driving through those quiet, beautiful forests, this is your roadmap to staying safe.
All right, first things first. The best way to stay safe on your trip actually starts before you even leave the house. This whole section is about building your safety toolkit, both on your phone and in your suitcase, before you even think about packing.
Think of this as your must-do list. Seriously, don't skip these. Number 1, get the 1112 app on your phone. It's a total game changer, because if you need help, it automatically sends your GPS location to the emergency services. 2, find a Skydrum, that's a public shelter, near where you're staying and pin it on your map. We'll circle back to those later. Then, get those key numbers saved in your contacts, and of course, pack smart. These 4 steps are like your personal safety net.
And listen, this isn't just any packing list. This is specifically for Sweden. Layering your clothes is a must because the weather can change in a heartbeat. If you're out in nature from May to September, a tick remover is non-negotiable. And if you're driving, a high-vis vest and a warning triangle are just essential gear. For a winter trip, those little traction cleats for your shoes can literally save you from a nasty fall on an icy street. Oh, and if you're eligible, don't you dare forget that health insurance card. It makes things so much easier if you need a doctor.
Okay, here's a huge pro tip that's going to save you a massive headache. Sweden is pretty much a cash-free country now. I mean it. From tiny coffee shops to big museums, they expect you to pay with a card or your phone. So make sure you've got a good international card or a mobile wallet set up and ready to go. You don't want to be caught out.
All right, you've done your homework, you've packed your bags, and you've landed in Sweden. Now what? Well, it's an incredibly safe country, for sure. But being aware of a couple of local risks is just smart travel, and it's the key to keeping your trip totally trouble-free.
So let's break down the main things to keep an eye out for. In super busy tourist spots, like Gamla Stan in Stockholm, you might see some distraction tricks from pickpockets. The fix is simple. Keep your wallet and phone in a zipped pocket or an inside pocket. Online, if any agent asks you to wire money for a visa, it's a scam. Full stop. Always use the official embassy websites. And in winter, watch out for that sneaky black ice. This is exactly where those traction cleats we talked about become your absolute best friend.
Okay, let's talk about something that really needs its own spotlight: driving. If you're going to rent a car to see all that incredible scenery, you have to know that Sweden's traffic laws are super specific and they are very, very strict about them.
If you remember one thing about driving in Sweden, make it this: your headlights have to be on, 24/7, all year round. I don't care if it's the brightest day of summer at 2 in the afternoon, headlights on. And I mean your full dipped beam headlights, not just the little daytime running lights. This one catches so many visitors out, and there are absolutely no exceptions.
And the rules about tires are just as serious. Between December 1st and the end of March, if there's any snow, ice, or even slush on the road, winter tires are mandatory. That's not a suggestion, it's the law. Studded tires are also an option for part of the year, but just be aware that some cities actually ban them, so always look for local signs. This is all about safety. It's about making sure you have the grip you need on those slick roads.
Take a good long look at that number, 0.02%. That is the legal blood alcohol limit for driving. To put that into perspective, it's one of the strictest in the entire world. For most people, that means even one beer could push you over the edge. The police run checks all the time, so the only safe bet is to have 0 alcohol in your system if you're getting behind the wheel. It's just not worth the risk.
All right, let's switch gears to a driving hazard that's kind of unique to Scandinavia. I've got a question for you. What animal is involved in over 5,000 traffic accidents every single year in Sweden? This is a really serious risk, especially when you get out on those rural roads. And the answer is the moose. If you guessed moose, you are absolutely right. And colliding with one of these giants is no joke. It is incredibly dangerous. The risk is way higher around dawn and dusk, especially on big highways like the E4 and E45. So when you see one of those moose warning signs, you have to take it seriously. Slow down, keep your eyes peeled, and scan the edges of the forest. This one piece of advice could literally save your life.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about preparation and prevention, but what happens if something actually goes wrong? Now we're going to get into your action plan for those moments when every single second really counts.
Okay, this is probably the most important slide to remember. Maybe even snap a quick picture of it with your phone. 112 is the number for any real emergency. Police, fire, ambulance, you name it. And remember, using that 112 app is always best because it sends your exact location. For police stuff that isn't urgent, you'll call 11414. If you just need some medical advice, 1177 connects you to a 24/7 nurse hotline. And yes, there's an English option. And 11313 is the official line for info during a major national crisis.
So remember that word we mentioned earlier, Skydisrum? Let's break it down. A Skydisrum, and you say it kind of like Shidsrum, is a public civil defense shelter. They're all over the place. And the entrance is always marked with this very specific symbol, an orange square with a blue triangle inside it. Burn that image into your brain. Recognizing that sign is a crucial piece of your safety toolkit. And why is it so important to know? Well, get a load of this number. There are roughly 65,000 of these shelters in Sweden. That is a staggering number, right? It just shows you how seriously the country takes civil preparedness. And that official map we talked about at the very beginning, that's what you'll use to find the ones closest to you.
Look, I know learning a new language is tough, but you don't need to be fluent in a really stressful situation. Just knowing a few key phrases can make all the difference. Hjälp is easy. It sounds just like Yelp. Ring 112 means call 112. And knowing how to ask for a doctor or a hospital could be incredibly important. Just practice them a couple of times. It's a tiny bit of effort that could have a huge payoff.
All right, let's boil this all down to the absolute must-knows. First, this whole thing is about being empowered, not scared. Second, if you do nothing else from this list, please just download that 112 app. It's your most powerful tool. Third, if you're driving, respect the rules. Headlights on, the right tires, and always watch for moose. And finally, learn to recognize that orange and blue Skydisrum sign. That's your visual key to safety.
So look, by taking just a little bit of time to learn this stuff, you've handled the what-ifs. You've basically turned any potential worry into confident awareness. So yeah, you're prepared for the risks, but more importantly, you are now more ready than ever to dive in and have the incredible adventure that's waiting for you in Sweden. Travel smart and have an amazing time.